Flowers of Parijatam, known in Sanskrit as Shefalika, in Bangla language as Shioli, Kur, Kuri, or Latudi are Dogri names for this divine flower. The flower is also known as Hari Shingar or Har Shingar, sometimes also pronounced as Har Shingar. Basically, the flower is dear to Lord Vishnu, and even Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and it is said that during Sagar Manthan, this plant appeared and it was taken to heaven and planted in Indra's garden. Once Narad Muni brought one flower to Dwarka and gifted to Lord Krishna. As Krishna was at that time in the house of Rukmani, he presented the fragrant Parijat flower to Rukmani. After that, Narad told Satyabhama about the unique flower which he has gifted to Lord Krishna. So, Satyabhama got jealous and ultimately expressed her desire to have the tree in her garden. Krishna, to placate her, went to heavens and had fight with Indra and then uprooted the tree from Amaravati and planted in Dwarka in Satyabhama's garden. Though Nyctanthes arbor tristis, as it is botanically identified, Nyct means night. Anthes means, from anthas the meaning means flower, night flower. Arbor means tree. Tristis means sad. The tree of sadness is its English name, also known as tree of sorrow. Why? It is associated with sadness or sorrow, so we have to refer to Mahabharata and even the Puranas, where the mythology about this peculiar flower, divine flower, is very interesting. Story, a tale is told that Parijat princess fell in love with sun god, and sun just for a fraction of millionth of a second promised to Parijata to be with her. But ultimately, sun left Parijata princess heartbroken because sun has to be in the sky and it could not afford to sit for long with Parijata princess. As a result, Parijatam committed suicide, and after the death, the ashes transformed into this beautiful tree with flowers which have the fragrance, which have the beauty, but it developed enmity with the sun. It could not have that beauty, elegance and fragrance during daytime when the sun appeared. So it is said that in the evening hours when sun sets, sun is not there. At night time, it has all the grandeur of its beauty, fragrance, colorful makeup. And then the moment, early morning, before dawn, before sun appears, it sheds all its flowers on the ground, thereby showing the sad face. Leaves are in drooping position and no flowers on the tree, and it looks very sad. But again, in the evening, when sun goes away, it has its beauty, it has its decorative look. So it was named as tree of sadness. But basically the mythology is Indian, and the word Shefalika is in Sanskrit, and from the Sanskrit Shefalika, the word has been modified as Shuli in Assamese language as well as in Bangla. This is the state flower of West Bengal. And during the 15th, 16th century, Vijayanagara Empire flourished in the down south, and Krishnadeva Raya was the benevolent king. He had married to the Princess Tirumala Devi, after which today we have the Tirumala Hills in Tirupati temple in the Andhra Pradesh. And along with the Tirumala princess, the court poet Nandi Thimanna, also sometimes named as Mukku Thimanna, a Telugu poet, he also landed in the court of Krishnadeva Raya during Vijayanagara Empire. And he has composed a long poem on the beauty of Parijatam, which is called as Parijatam Paharanamu. So that great poet has also adored the beauty of Nyctanthes arbor tristis, known to Sanskrit scholars as Parijata or Shafalika, and to Banglas and Assamiya people as Shuli. It is named as Kur or Kuri or Latudi in Jammu region. Latudi is Gojari name and Kuri is the Dogri name. It has very rough leaves. So once upon a time it was also named as Scabrita triflora. Triflora means flowers are born in a cluster of three. Three flowers one can see when it blooms. So it was named as Scabrita after the rough surface of the leaves. But later its unique quality of blooming during night time. Another name, genus name, was coined as Nyctanthes arbor tristis. Nyctanthes arbor tristis. This particular tree stands introduced in the temples, in the parks, in the gardens, throughout India, from Katra to Kamrup, and from Jammu to Tamil Nadu. As this is a shrub and it grows only in the subtropical climate, so it cannot be introduced in the temperate regions, say Kashmir or Shimla, where there is a snowfall. So this cannot survive in that climate. But it is growing in the wilderness. In Jammu Shivaliks, we have the plenty of these trees even in the wilderness, and its seed paste is used in the Ayurveda as a cure for alopecia. Even the leaf juice is recommended as a treatment for sciatica and joint pains, and bark powder is administered to cure asthma. The flowers have unique architecture, and if we focus on one particular pinwheel shape flower, it has 6 petals. Number may vary, it can be 7 also sometimes, but never 5. So more than 5 corolla lobes are seen, and which is white. But if we see the tube below, that is orange in color, and this orange corolla tube is useful in getting the dye. The dye is useful in coloring many silken fabrics. So earlier, even Buddha devotees, that monks, they used to color the garments with the dye obtained from the flowers of Parijata or Parijat. And even today, this dye is organic dye and can be used to dye the silken garments. This flower is so elegant. This need to be introduced in all parks and gardens of Jammu, as this tree or flower is linked to Indian mythology. It is linked to Vishnu. It is also the very favorite flower of Ma Lakshmi, although Lakshmi has special affinity for lotus flower, but if this flower is dear to Lakshmi, then Krishna. The flowers are woven into a garlands and they are presented to the deities in the temples. This is the only tree whose flowers are not plucked from the branches, but they are gathered from the ground after they fall early morning. And the fallen flowers are offered to the deities, gods and goddesses in the temples. Nyctanthes arbor tristis has quadrangular branches, opposite phyllotaxy. Flowers are borne in trichotomous panicles. And this is a medium-sized tree with drooping branchlets. And flowering during evening hours fills the atmosphere with fragrance. So fragrant flowers are also source of many perfumes and cosmetic products. Leaf juice is also useful in case of fungal infections, ringworm disease. The plant has special utility as useful for the hair care. It controls the hair fall and promotes the hair growth among the ladies. So this Nyctanthes arbor tristis flower, Parijata flower or Harishangar flower is dear to ladies who adorn their hair with the garlands woven while collecting the flowers of this beautiful wild shrub, which starts blooming after the monsoon is over. So this is the time when we don't have monsoon is over, and this shrub starts flowering in the month of September. The flowers will go on blooming even in October. September, October is the ideal season for flowering of this shrub or small tree, also named as coral jasmine or night blooming jasmine or night flowering jasmine. But this is not a true jasmine of the genus Jasminum we are familiar with. Jasminum officinale, or Jasminum grandiflorum, or Jasminum humane, or Jasminum mesnii. These are familiar jasmine flower, but this is not a true jasmine. So it has been placed in its own monotypic genus Nyctanthes with single species Nyctanthes arbor tristis. So this is the medicinal shrub, this is the sacred shrub, this is the ornamental shrub, this is the Ayurveda shrub, this is medicinal shrub, and culturally very significant, where the poets, especially Nandi Thimanna, Tamil poet, has adored its beauty in the form of a poem named as Parijat Paharanamu. And here is the decoction of flowers, which is very useful, health promoting herbal tea called as Parijat chai. You can also add leaves, but here I have boiled only flowers, and this yellow colored decoction is useful for health. It is useful as laxative, it is useful against hair fall, it is useful against skin disorders, and also useful for respiratory tract infections. So let us spread awareness about Nyctanthes arbor tristis parijata as a celestial tree or a divine flower, which has been adored in the scriptures like Mahabharata and Puranas, and was brought to earth by Lord Krishna after having a fight with Indra. So that is the uniqueness of this tree, where we have the rich folklore, rich traditions associated with this plant, which has been named in botany, in the botanical terminology, as Nyctanthes, arbor, tristis, Parijat, Harshangar, Shafalika, Shuli, and in Urdu named as Gul Zafari.